Whenever there's about to be some sort of giant gaming launch, whether it's a console, a game, or just a revision, it seems like somebody almost always manages to snap a picture of it before it's supposed to be out there, and it looks like we may have just had that with the Nintendo Switch Mini. What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, and I wanted to talk about this today because this actually came out just minutes ago, and people are already beginning to hotly debate whether or not this is real or fake. Now, let me just say right up front, I actually completely believe that this is legit. Now, it actually came from a worker over in China. We know this because it appeared on Chinese social media, and they were talking about how excited they were for the Nintendo Switch Mini. Now, it seems like a lot of people are beginning to speculate that this man or woman is actually an employee at a factory over in China. And as somebody who's worked at a lot of different factories, this background does sort of give off that air. Now, as somebody who worked at a Blockbuster factory, our cafeterias looked exactly like this. They were cold, uninviting, and very, very unappetizing, but look at that stone floor and those spotlights. This seems to be, in my opinion, very clearly an actual factory over in China. The other thing that really sort of just grabs my attention in this is obviously the fact that it is so tiny, and it does look to have a lot of different tiny revisions to it. So the main rumor that was going around was that the Nintendo Switch Mini would not just be microscopic and very, very tiny, but in actuality have no detachable Joy-Cons, which isn't a huge shock. And the other part that I saw a lot of very solid sources reporting was that they were trying to aim for a kid-friendly design. Now, the main thing that I heard was that basically they wanted it to be ultra sturdy, something you could drop again and again and it's completely fine. Basically the same way that they did with the 2DS. That thing was basically indestructible. I mean, people were legitimately running it over with cars just to see what it took to break a 2DS. This thing looks very, very armored down to its very core, and what else is about this is that it does appear like it could be actually quite small. So on the left side of the picture, you can actually see the person who's leaking its hand, just their finger of it, and you can see that they decided to put this rainbow over the picture. This is something that the person who posted it actually put over the picture before it went up. So I think that it's probably censoring out their hand because there was a wedding ring or some sort of identifying marker on it. But even seeing the tip of their thumb, to me, this is actually a pretty clear signifier of just how tiny this device is. So let's just do a little bit of a side-by-side comparison. So obviously this is a full-size Nintendo Switch, which thankfully everybody on Twitter, by the way, the other day y'all saw I was tweeting my Nintendo Switch was broken for like 24 hours. Thank you everybody on Twitter for helping me fix it. But here's the key thing. Here is me holding a Nintendo Switch. Now compare my thumb size to this picture's thumb size. It looks like this is going to be probably 50% the size. So obviously I can fit several of my thumb down the border here. This person could probably only fit 4 or 5 of their fingers. It's also interesting to see that it looks like it is much more rounded off. It still has all the heat vents on the top and stuff, but it looks like the overall shell is much rounder in my opinion. And this is something that we've seen Nintendo experiment with a lot of their handhelds, because it's actually been scientifically proven that the more circular your device is, the sturdier it is because it manages to actually take kinetic force and displace it more evenly. That's basically like the same way that certain cars that are super round have the lowest fatality rates because they can actually disperse inertia very simply. I think that this is real. I 100% do, and it seems like something that we could be getting very soon. If they're producing them in mass inside of a Chinese factory, at this point I think it's pretty clear that they're getting ready to put these on store shelves. But what do you think? This is a very interesting leak and something that may actually get this video taken down. I guess we're gonna find out. Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below, real or fake? Either way, this is a very exciting little rumor, and thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.